Hi everyone, welcome and thank you for being here. Today I want to talk about family values. And in looking at family values, we are going to look at them from a personal development perspective. There are 7 aspects that we cover in personal development, namely sexual development, financial development, emotional development, physical development, mental development, social development, and spiritual development. By looking at family values in this perspective, we are able to cover all aspects of our lives and those of our children. And do you have family values? Did you come up with your own, or they were passed down from your parents or upbringing or your environment? And most of us, these family values were never communicated. They were given to us in the form of do's and don'ts and rules. Sometimes you didn't even know until you are punished, then you know, okay, that is something I'm not supposed to be doing. And so as we grew up and had children, had partners, had relationships, in some issues we had non-negotiables. In others, we didn't know how to behave or how to react when value is violated, because sometimes you have it but you cannot articulate it. You know something has been violated but you cannot put words to it. And so it's important for us to come up with values, our own values, and harmonize them with those of our partner before we present the family values to the children. They need to be in harmony. You as parents need to have a united front. You cannot seem to be at war when you go before the children. So this will be done in a series of videos where we look at each aspect of development and its values, and we will learn and unlearn, and also moving forward we will be conscious, we will parent consciously. And isn't it very, very ironical that parenting is a vital job of our life, but we are never taught how to be parents. It's something that we do for a long time of our life, in our lives, but we are never taught how to be parents. We are never told how to be parents. So we get ourselves there as parents just because it is the next thing to do, because we are old enough, because we are married, and mostly because it is expected of us. You get married, you get a partner, and it is expected of you to have children. And so you have children because it is expected of you. You get there, you find yourself with a whole human being, very delicate, who is looking up to you to guide them. You are their whole world, and you yourself, you're confused. You don't know about your world. You don't know it enough sometimes to guide them. And so when we do certain things consciously, we are able to guide ourselves as we guide our children. And in doing so, we are standing up for our families. we are breaking patterns in some instances. And we are starting something beautiful for our children and grandchildren. The Bible says that a wise man leaves an inheritance for his grandchildren. And what a better inheritance to leave our grandchildren than sane parents. Parents who will not be traumatized. Parents who will not have to parent themselves as they parent. And this all begins by setting a firm foundation. And you set these firm foundations by having family values and communicating them to your children and making sure they live by them. You guide them to live by them. In that way, they'll be transferred to your grandchildren. Family values are also important because they'll help you in setting rules and boundaries. Not just in the family, but also for your children when they leave home. Remember, we are grooming these children to live in the society. They'll not always be in our houses. They'll go and live elsewhere. And when they have foundation, when they have family values that they have lived by, that they know, when their boundaries are violated, when they are disrespected, they are able to walk away from relationships and situations that do not serve them. That is why it's important to have family values and communicate them as early as possible. Another thing that family values will help you with is the back and forth with your children. Once they hit puberty, it's war. But it should not be that way. Because when you have boundaries, you will have rules. There will be negotiables and non-negotiables. And they will know that from a very young age. And that will help them in knowing the lines not to cross. And it will also help you with the rules because you'll not be arguing. There'll be no back and forth. You'll just tell them, what does our values around that say? What values do we have around, let's say, maybe short dresses? How short can it be? In every aspect of personal development, we will look at this, and you will find that it will help you with your teenagers and adolescents mostly, because when the rules are set, there's nothing they can do about it. Even you. Yeah, in my house, there's the rule of eating in the dining table. When you're eating, you have to be at the dining table. Even if it is chewing gum, you be at the dining table. So the other day I was taking water, moving with my cup of water to the bedroom. One of the children told me, "Mommy, be at the table." So it will help everyone. And especially you. As they grow older, they begin to challenge the system. But when the rules, boundaries, and values are communicated early, they'll learn to live by them. They'll know that as long as they are under your roof, they have to go by the boundaries and the rules and the values that have been set. Because, when they come from hospital, children come to your house after they are given birth to. That is when the routine should start. That is when the rules should start. That is when you should start communicating the values and the boundaries. Because when you don't have them, they'll grow into being people who do not have the values, they do not know the rules of the home, and at some point, they'll become unruly. And you will be helpless. Because sometimes they grow to proportions that you cannot control. like the tantrums. Start when they're still young, with the tantrums, with the unruliness,